she was getting mocked by some people who had noticed that the videos were getting lots and lots and lots of views and her core content wasn't. So they would come and they would mock her on the other videos, and it had all been very unpleasant for her. I'll let you in on a little secret today. You don't want to go viral. It's funny because that's a lot of people's picture of success, whether it's in the online realm or other creative endeavors. They think that somebody has one super mega hit out of nowhere, it propels them to stardom, and that is that. In fact, the idea of going viral, of breaking out in a big way, out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere, is people's picture of success, their blueprint for what is. But when it comes to YouTube, going viral has a price. And going viral is actually not guaranteed success. And if anything, going viral can make it even more difficult to have long-term success. And in today's episode, I'll go into why. But first, I want to address this idea that being a breakout star is the way that people become successful, because that's just a myth. See, the thing is, when somebody famous comes onto your radar for the first time, and when you've never heard of them, it seems like they come out of nowhere. Unless you happen to be somebody that has incidentally supported an artist when they were small and watched them come up, it's going to seem to you when somebody finally breaks into mass appeal that that person came out of nowhere. But they didn't. At every level, they had a following, and that following got bigger and bigger, and they were presented with more opportunities for growth. In fact, there is a wonderful quote by Walter Matthau that really encapsulates what normal artistic growth looks like that I'd like to share with you. To be successful in show business, all you need are 50 good breaks. So Walter Matthau was a very popular TV and film actor once upon a time. He actually passed away in 2000, so if you're young, you might not remember him, but he had an esteemed career and he was really, really famous. So there's this whole struggling actor archetype. Basically, while you're going to auditions and trying to break out in LA, you're waiting tables and washing dishes and working at a restaurant or being a bartender. And it's interesting now that we have things like YouTube, where the content can go directly to viewers, where you don't need a studio, you don't need those same gatekeepers in order to reach viewers. Now, you're not going to necessarily reach as many viewers on YouTube as you do in a Hollywood movie, at least not at first. But it does allow you some access. It becomes less all or nothing, right? Where you're bussing tables and then you're looking for a role. Although, even in Hollywood, you have small roles, you have indie films, you have films that flop, you have all these kind of different breaks you get. You're guesting on a TV show for an episode. It isn't like you've never had an audition and then you're suddenly cast in a major starring role. While that does happen, a lot of actors have 50 good breaks. And really, it's the same with content creation. There's very good YouTube advice that says that you shouldn't even think about how fast you're growing until you've put out at least 50 videos, 50 videos. And I think that's really good advice. You need to put in the reps. And to be honest, those are 50 opportunities. Kind of like Walter Matthau said, all you need to make it in show business is 50 good breaks. And so there's this other idea that you might need a string of hits. You might have the one video that goes viral, and that's great, but you might also have a series of hits that build and then you go viral. It's just funny. There's so many people that do it the low and slow way that build their audience over time. And that kind of leads me into why I don't think you actually want to go viral. Now, it sounds really great. It's great having a hit. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I love when I can have a video that does really, really well. But there's a danger to having a video that does really, really well right out of the gate, especially if you don't know why. And that's why I think slow and steady growth is actually a lot more preferable, because it gives you that time to get your reps in, practice your craft, and experiment about what you're doing and see what works better and what doesn't, and form these really good theories about where what you can do as a filmmaker and what the audience will be interested in overlap. And you come up with these theories and you test them by putting out another video, and then you see what happens. And then you come up with another idea, another theory, and then you test that. And as you go on, you will get better and better at predicting what works and what doesn't. And that really takes time. It's kind of like how a teacher wants you to show your work in math class. They don't want you to get the right answer by guessing. They want to know that you know how to solve those kind of problems. Because while guessing right is great and it's good luck, and it's a lot easier than the hard work of figuring out how to do things and then doing the work over and over again, it also leaves you a little powerless, right? So I think a lot of times of those people that had kind of the Scantron tests and they're just filling in random bubbles, and I heard of people who were gaming them, right? They had these different patterns that were more common than others. It was predicated on the fact that the answers are going to go all the way from A to E and they're going to switch up and everything. And then you'd have that professor that would troll and put every single answer bubble B. And so if you were trying to do one of those normal distribution patterns, you would lose every time. I think anytime anybody looks at YouTube as kind of a casino or a gambling model, it's more exciting to some people. Like, it really lights up their brain. Like, oh, I could get rich quick and it could be easy and I could have luck and it can be like a dream. I am not much of a gambler, I'll admit it. I don't like being at the whims of luck. And I think there's something powerful about knowing what you did, why what you did worked, and how to keep doing that thing, like feeling in control of your destiny as a creator. That is huge, and I think it would be really tough to go viral and have that happen. Not to mention that there are so many skills as a content creator that come with having a large platform. Things like, how do you reply to comments? How do you deal with trolls and haters? I actually did an episode on that you can watch after this one that I'll link below. How do you deal with sponsors and brand deals and all that? In real time, if you grow in a sensible, steady, sustained way, slow and steady, you will encounter those problems a little at a time. You will solve them before you have a big following and can embarrass yourself or damage yourself financially or business-wise. And it will be a lot less stressful. Rather than going from 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 like that, you will rev up slowly, you will get used to the road, you will get used to driving. You'll be less likely to drive off the road, right? Because there's always this danger, if you didn't know what you did, of being a one-hit wonder, of being memeified and that's it. Like, there have been so many people that have gone through that, and you deserve more than that. You want longevity. And there's also another reason that is very specific to YouTube. You do not want to go viral. And that specifically pertains to when you go viral for a video on a topic outside of your channel's niche. Now, lots of people have talked about this, but one really notable example of this happened with the YouTube channel Awkward Anthems. I will link to the channel below. She's lovely, actually. So basically, she used to work as the video editor for Legal Eagle, which is another great YouTube channel. He does a lot of legal analyses, ask a lawyer kind of perspectives on different things, movie topics, but also political and current events. And she worked for him for many years, Awkward Anthems. And when she got done working for him as an editor, she put out a video about what was happening, why she quit being his editor. And it got a lot of traffic, a lot of interest, because Legal Eagle has a huge platform. Now, the bottom line is that she had her own thing she wanted to do. Awkward Anthems is doing kind of comedy videos and nerdy songs and things like that. And the channel is very different than what she used to edit for Legal Eagle. But what happened was, when the video went viral, a lot of Legal Eagle's audience was obviously very interested in the video, because I remember I was like, oh gosh, what happened? Is there some kind of scandal with Legal Eagle? Like, you know, it really piqued my interest. You're kind of curious because you know this creator, you follow them. And, you know, no, come to find out she's just doing her own thing, kind of one of those. But what happened is she had attracted all the interest from Legal Eagle's audience, and they are a completely different demographic than people who would be interested in her content. She had a very cool style that worked for Legal Eagle very well, and now that I've watched her channel, I can totally see it in her work. She's actually a wonderful editor, unsurprisingly. But that success on that one video did not translate to her other videos taking off, because her thumbnails were getting shown to people who were interested in the video about her time at Legal Eagle and not interested in the rest of her content, her parody songs, her comedy songs. She actually did some follow-up videos about it, about why going viral really hurt her channel, and those videos did better than her other core content, even just the commentary on the issues with going viral and how difficult it had been on her. I recommend those videos. Definitely worth a watch if you're interested in this idea of why going viral is not the best. She really makes a great case for it, and she has that lived experience of it. But she had even said that she was getting mocked by some people who had noticed that the videos that she did about Legal Eagle were getting lots and lots and lots of views, and her core content wasn't. So they would come and they would mock her in the other videos, and it had all been very unpleasant for her. She also explains this briefly in those videos, but I'll cover it really quickly as well. Essentially, when YouTube is figuring out the quality of a video or how much it wants to serve something to the audience, it will first test it on a pool of your existing viewers, and then if it does well among them, it'll branch it out, and so on and so forth. And because she suddenly had a viewership that was composed of primarily people who were interested in her former work for Legal Eagle as a video editor, when she would put out her comedy videos, people wouldn't click on them, and that really hurt her algorithmically. So you don't take my word for it. Like I said, she's done some great videos on the subject. It could very easily happen to you if you go viral for something outside of what you're doing, primarily on the channel, what your core niche is. As I've mentioned before, the average time to achieve monetization on YouTube is 22 months. 22 months, about 2 years. And I know from personal experience that there's this feeling like you want to go viral. You'd like to get that in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. You want to get that as quick as possible. And it can be really psychologically and emotionally challenging when you put out a video and you get like 20 views. But I want you to know that while going viral seems like it would be awesome, that you don't want that. You don't want to have that happen to you, not right away. At least not until you know what you're doing and have a sense of who you are as a creator. Because the first time you hit a home run, you want to know you can hit it again. Anyway, it's been great talking to you as always. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.